And hello, everybody. Welcome to Do You Even Art Live. Decided to do another quick live episode tonight before I do the recording for tomorrow's actual episode. Hopefully, all of the weird video glitches and all types of insane stuff that I was experiencing last night are gone. At one point, when I was actually watching the stream back today, I noticed that I don't know, about half hour into an hour and a half long stream, what happened? I froze. So all you saw was my face just staring straight forward, but you're hearing my voice fine. And that was kind of funny. Funny to say the least, I guess is what I'll say. Either way, it was kind of humorous, at least to me. And the one person who's probably watching, hey, but that's fine. So what we are going to do here today is we're going to kind of pick up from where I left off last time, working on this piece of a friend of mine, Reese's, and kind of see if we can finish this up here. If you're wondering what exactly I was doing, we're basically cleaning everything up, doing a little bit of line work to bring some things out. That's what just the line cleanup and stuff looks like, and finish up the text here and all of that. And then eventually we're going to get to the whole point of me doing this, of giving a really neat background for the hysteria mode kind of look here. And that's what we're going to jump in and start right away. As always, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, if you know, this happens to be your first stream, you just saw me randomly pop up on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, check the donation link that's in the description, and helps me out. Always helps me out. I want to be able to do this full time some point. And it'd be nice if that point was sooner than later. But we'll get this moving here right away. I'm pulling up my chat right now, so that way I can see if anybody is in here with me chatting away. And we'll kind of go from there. Also, let me know if at any point I disappear into nothingness and I'm not moving anymore, or anything crazy happens. I'm trying just a different USB port and stuff, just to kind of see if that might be exactly what is going on. Is that maybe my USB port's not being powered right, and I just need to jump on in to that and fix that up. Either way, let's go ahead and finish up some of these lines here. Like I said, I'm absolutely terrible at line work, so I'm gonna get back into the flow of how this pen works. And let's see here, what did I already do? There we go. All right. This is one of the first videos you've seen of me, or at least the first live video. I definitely do like to have as much audience participation as possible. Ask me questions, even if it's not about the piece I'm doing work on or anything like that. I always like to answer questions and help any artist out there kind of really get a little bit of a different perspective. Not saying whether it's the right perspective, wrong perspective, anything like that, but I have my own views. On art in general, so there we go. Things are acting up today, not being as smooth as I'd want. My brain just randomly stops talking to me sometimes. It's the way it goes. wish I could do line work like this in terms of text, because I am absolutely terrible. When I say terrible, I mean really terrible at coming up with this stuff on my own. I can't grasp typography to save my life sometimes. Especially when it comes to hand-drawn logos and script and stuff. Can't do it. I try, and eventually I'll get it one day. And doing stuff like this does help, because it helps me get at least a feel for how the lines interplay with each other and kind of go like that. Wunderbar. I'll tell you what though, doing this is a good little break from the stuff that I normally do. I busted out 3 portraits yesterday for Inspire Pro Wrestling in probably took maybe 3 hours, so about an hour per portrait. Tried a whole new technique, which I really am kind of excited for. I was doing, Drew Struzan style technique for a long time, especially when I was learning it. It helps to have kind of that hero to look up to and to learn from and everything. And I was doing a lot of drawing underneath, and then a little bit of airbrush, and then a lot of colored pencil on top to kind of round things out and bring out the details and stuff of that nature. And I was on kind of a tight time crunch with the Inspire stuff. I was slacking a little bit, just due to depression and everything I talked about in my stream yesterday. Or not yesterday, the stream was 2 days ago now. I don't even remember time anymore. But due to that, I fell behind when it was supposed to be well ahead of the curve with the Inspire stuff, and I owned up to it. And what ended up happening is I tried this new technique, and things turned out pretty phenomenally. What I ended up doing was a lot more airbrush and a lot less underdrawing. And it was kind of inspiring myself when I saw how it was turning out. And it's one of those things. I never strive to be photorealistic. I like having my own little style thrown in there, but still people think, hey, this could possibly just be a touched up photograph. I kind of like that feeling, where people are like, how did somebody do that? How's that able to be done? And I love artists that do that to me too. Like when you look at it and you're like, I think I can see those lines. I think I can see what they're thinking, but it's really hard to fathom exactly what their process was or anything. And it's inspiring to see stuff like that. So with that being said, I kind of inspired myself, because as I was doing this technique of just mostly airbrush, which is kind of the way a lot of people did it back in the day. They, like Struzan did a lot of airbrush too, but I literally just did, or a lot of the underdrawing, Struzan did, but I did just kind of the basic when it would come to underdrawing, just basic of the mid-tone real quick. I don't know, of course, the important lines, and stuff like that is what I was mostly going for. And I was doing it that way just to kind of see if I could. And it ended up turning out really, really well with just focusing on a lot of just straight airbrush, to where I I sent it over to the Inspire guys, and you know, they're like, that's pretty photorealistic. And you know, I'm like, well, I'm still not quite done with it, because I did do a little bit of colored pencil over the top and stuff too still, but not nearly as much as I normally would have for a piece like that. And it turned out really well, so I'm going to try to do a couple more portraits in that style, where I'm just not worrying about following a certain technique and just kind of going for it, whatever feels right at the time, and kind of see how it ends up going there. I keep getting this wavy hand right at the apex of this curve, so I'm gonna have to so close. So close. Come on now. If you remember my last live stream, it took me a while to get back into the flow of doing things. It was really kind of, I found it humorous, to where eventually all of a sudden my lines started looking right. Eventually. And that's the funny part of it all, is sometimes just my lines don't look right no matter how hard I try. Alright, so I think I got everything for the hysteria. Nope, I missed a whole section of that S. Which frankly is a credit to Reese's line work, because I couldn't tell the difference between my digital cleanup and the original lines there, which is awesome. Not looking forward to this line. Better than I thought it'd turn out. Kudos. So yeah, I started doing that new technique, and I'm really happy with how it comes out. And in general, it's kind of fun to do, just to kind of build up the colors that way, instead of using mostly flat airbrush and then spending a lot of time on the colored pencil. So I'm going to try that. Next few commissions come in, I'm going to give that a go and see if people are a little bit more responsive to it, maybe. Because commissions have been woefully slow lately. After my June stuff kind of dried up, and I didn't push so hard for the beginning of July, because of the fact that I was supposed to have a really, really big commission coming in that was going to take me all of July to do. And if you've been following the tale of that, that completely fell through. The guy disappeared off the face of the earth, never to be seen again. No answer to my emails or my invoices or anything like that. And I'm glad I didn't start any prep work or anything, because this my gut feeling was it was probably too good to be true. So I was right. But that would have been nice to be able to get to do it. It was going to be a full motion comic for a film production, and it wasn't the film production's fault that it fell through. The fault was they had this guy who was basically begging to help finance the movie in some way. We got to get this going, what can I do? I have money burning a hole in my pocket, what can I do to help, kind of thing. So the director of the movie said, well, if you're really serious about this, we're going to be mostly doing crowdfunding, but I would like to have something special for the crowdfunding that maybe no one else has in their crowdfunding. I'd like to take this teaser trailer that we were going to shoot and make it a motion comic instead. So I'll be right back in a moment. Oh, sorry, Smoky. And I am back. Just needed to check on something. Heard a noise and wanted to make sure that the noise was nothing bad at all. So, with that being said, they wanted a motion comic for this teaser, and the director messaged me and was like, hey, I want you to help me out with this. Do you think you can do it? I've never done motion comics ever in my life. So I told him, I was like, I might be able to, but it's, depending on exactly what you want, it's going to take me a long time, and I'm not sure what kind of budget you have. He goes, call this number. He just gives me a phone number. And I go, all right. After I put up a little bit of fight because my social anxiety had me freaking out about actually having to use a telephone, I call the number, and this guy answers. And I'm going to leave names out of it and everything, of course, because honestly, I don't think this guy's ever going to come around the art world again. So, the motion comic I started kind of thinking about, and I was talking with the guy about it. And he was like, the director, he uses his real name, but I'm not going to do that either. The director said that, he's looking for XYZ amount of stuff, and that he was looking for about $500 to get it done. And I said, yeah, I could do something for $500. And he goes, well, I deal a lot in art and art stuff a lot, and I think that might be, that seems awfully low for the amount of work. And I explained, what technique I was going to use, how it was going to be pretty bare bones, rely just on actual, text itself. There wasn't going to be much to it. It was going to be kind of almost like the Walking Dead motion comic, but a little bit less than that for the $500. Because that one, $500, I was only going to spend maybe about a week on at most. He says, well, how about this? Throw up a couple different numbers, shoot me an email, and he gave me his email address, and I'll talk it over with the director and see which way he wants to go, and we'll get this going right away. And this was back in, I think it was very early June or late May. So I go ahead and start planning all this stuff out. I gave about 7 or 8 different options, all different budget types, from the 500 up to, what I kind of considered the crazy one, the one that no one would ever go for, and it didn't matter. But if they wanted to, spend the money, I'd be willing to spend the time to learn how to do everything and do it properly. And that was $5,000 for 2 months worth of work on this motion comic. And I sent it off, and I blind carbon copied the director just so he knew what was kind of going on, and he asked me to do that as well for him, just so that he could be completely in the loop. And I sent that off to him, and the next day I got an email back, that very same day. It was the next day, but it was very quick because I didn't send it off until really late. And the guy says, "All right, well, I know exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for the 5,000." I was like, "Seriously? Absolutely. It's the best option. It's gonna be the best, bang for the buck when it comes down to things. It's gonna be epic. We can't wait to work with it." All right, well, let me write up the contract for you, and once we have the contract written up and signed, we'll move forward. Guys, like, absolutely. It's nice to be working with a professional. I got screwed over a few times from some people who just they were flakes. They were drug addicts. They just used my money for more drugs. Blah blah blah. And I go, okay, well, don't need to worry about that with me. I'm 100% a professional. I'm here to do art. I'm here to do good work. I'm here to, do things the right way. So I write up a contract for the guy, and I'm going to go over contract stuff and everything someday in the future with everybody. And I write up the entire contract for him. Lay out the timetables, what to expect, what the milestones will be, everything. Everything you'd need in a contract. When first payment was due, how the payment's to be made. It was all very legal, 100%, notarized, ready to go. And I shoot it off. I wait a bit, and I'm friends with the director, so I was kind of talking with him about it and everything, and I kept in the loop with him, and he was like, "You need to keep an eye on it. You let me know if this guy doesn't come through, if he, gives you some type of, crap about things, anything that goes wrong. Make sure I'm copied on. I want to know everything, because this guy's been hounding me to do work on a movie and to help finance this movie, and I'm giving him his chance now. And I want to make sure that he puts his money where his mouth is." All right. So I go ahead and I wait, and I get a little impatient, as anybody would, waiting for that amount of money. When it comes down to stuff like that. And still nothing. And it's been a while now at this point, to where I'm getting a little nervous. I still have other commissions I'm doing in June and everything, and I said it was going to start July 1st. So first thing I then do after that is I give him a call, and I leave him a message because he didn't answer. Shot him a couple emails, shot him a couple text messages. Pretty much everything that I could do, I did do. And still there was really nothing coming from this guy. Not even a little bit. So I talked with the director again, and he's like, don't let up on him for a bit. Make sure you're just constantly keeping me in the loop and everything. And finally I got through to the guy. He called me one morning, and I was asleep, but I called him right back because there was a time zone difference. He was over East Coast time. And what I ended up doing was talking with him and basically said multiple times to this guy, if you're you're honest about this, you really, really, really want to have this work, I need your commitment. I need your buy-in. I need it now. We're in. We're 100% in. I know I haven't been as deep when it comes to talking with you. I've been kind of off and on, and I'm really, really sorry, really, really sorry. Okay. Then he laid down a sob story for me, talking about how he gave all this money to help this girl out that he knew, and how what ended up happening with that is the money that this girl got for an art project that he was working on, or that he helped her to work on, I guess was what it was. How all of this was going on, and she didn't come through with the actual work itself, and he had to pay out of pocket to go ahead and basically keep this guy from doing the lawyer stuff, getting lawyers involved and everything. I'm like, okay, whatever. Not really buying it, but wanting to at least give someone the benefit of the doubt type of thing. And I let him go on and on and on about it. To be fair, I just kind of, okay, you keep talking. Let's see where you're going with this kind of thing. And still nothing was feeling right. So I once again just kind of, all right, whatever. And I give him an ultimatum. My ultimatum to him was very clear. It was very concise, and it wasn't mean. It wasn't me being forceful or anything like that. Very clearly what I said was, if you're serious about this, I need payment by Tuesday. And this was on a Sunday. I figured give him one business day to get finances together, move things around in accounts if he needed to, anything like that. And kind of go from there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't worry. We will get this going. It'll be pretty amazing. I can absolutely meet your demands. And I even said to him, I'm like, I'm not asking for the entire payment. If you read over the contract, I'm asking for half to get started. Absolutely. I'm in. I'm in. You're in. We're all in. It'll be amazing. Okay. So here we go. I give them until that Tuesday, which was, very close to that time, to be fair. And I gave him that time. Heard nothing from him. I go ahead and shoot him another email and call him one more time. And I say to him, listen, I gave you all this time. I gave you all this, benefits of the doubt. And I gave you this and that. And I, went down everything I gave him. I'm like, and I am losing money every single second. I think you're going to actually, go through and do this with me to finance this, so that a mutual friend of ours can go ahead and actually do something really, really good. And I'm just getting some reference images in my head. I haven't played Alice Madness Returns in so long that when it comes to hysteria mode, I remember it, but not enough that it'll be accurate in terms of what I want to get going with it. I remember the effect, the white effect and everything like that. So just getting visual ideas in my brain again on what it looked like so I can make this pretty dynamic and fun and basically just awesome. Okay. So this dude, that's pretty much all I'll call him, is this dude never got back to me. And it was just it was disappointing, and I was told not to expect much when it came down to it. You know, I was told don't really buy into anything this guy's trying to sell when it comes down to it. He always says that he has all this money and he wants to help and do all this stuff, and he never follows through, or he'll disappear, or, you know, actually the director kind of filled me in on everything that this dude kind of ended up doing. It's like, but say he's not a complete psychotic, you know, faker. This could be really good for you. This could really kickstart your career. And he's always been really supportive of my career, you know, and that's why I kind of went along with it. And I was kind of sad, you know, I didn't want to really have someone, you know, kind of screw me over like that. And, you know, the director warned me well in advance, so it's not like I hold him accountable at all, because I really don't at all. But just I don't understand someone's mentality of doing that, other than they just want to seem like they're big shots when they're not. And I don't know, I'm not someone who wants to pretend I'm a big shot when I'm not. I'm just kind of me, you know. And I guess this guy just has something going on in his head that made him want to kind of act that way. Like he wanted that kind of validation of, yeah, I'm helping produce a film, I'm helping do this for a film, etc., etc. But he didn't really either have the actual money to do it, or I don't know exactly what ended up happening. And frankly, at this point, I don't really care. All I know is he cost me a lot of valuable time of promoting my art, and really was kind of one of those things that learned my lesson kind of thing. So it's not all bad. Not all bad at all, to be fair. It happens. But boom. But man, would that have been a nice payday. But really freaking sweet.